What's happening, YouTube? You got all three of the Black Avengers of current culture. Me, T-Streams, Larry. We are black men that survived a protest weekend. How y'all fellas doing?
Man, I'm telling you, on eggshells, man, for real. On eggshells.
Fuck racist, please. Let's just start off right.
What's that?
Fuck racist, please.
Right. It's a mess out there, man. And to everyone that has followed us, all the people that subscribe to this channel and join us live, someone reached out to me and said they don't like to do super chat because of how much income YouTube takes from the YouTuber. And I done some research, and you know what? He was right. YouTube takes 26% of super chat money that you guys send us. So from now on, damn it, Buzz, you made it. You got in here too early. From now on, if you want to super chat the channel, hit that link that you see in my name that says Life Gains for the Cash App. Super chat us via the Cash App so that so much of your money doesn't go to YouTube, it goes to us. But hey, man, we appreciate you, Buzz. Anyway, Trisha C, we appreciate you. Everybody that's in the building, we've got a lot to cover, and I'm just going to dive into it because a wise man, and I'm going to keep referring to this wise man. Y'all know this wise man. Listen to what he said before all the protests.
And the only way that we're going to get something done is by a violent movement, either by violence, by us perpetrating the violence, or putting ourselves in such a way that the violence is perpetrated against us. That's it. And I'm telling you right now, if something happens to me, I don't want any sort of peaceful protest. I want violence. You can choose the violence you want. You can have it perpetrated against you. You can perpetrate it. At that point, I'm dead. It doesn't matter to me, but I don't want peace. I don't want a peaceful protest. I don't want to be a freaking hashtag that just goes away. I want a violent revolution.
Damn, was we talking to a prophet? What a difference a week almost makes.
Yeah, man, they low.
Man, now there are actually white guys saying that they completely understand why people are rioting and looting. Even Martin Luther King himself and a lot of Rhodes scholars have said the voice of those oppressed who feel like the powerful and the rich are not listening to them is protesting, violence, and looting. That's all they got left. If you are a man who has nothing to lose, you've tried doing everything the right way, you've tried getting yourself above capitalism, and you as a black man have done everything right and you still can't get ahead, then you go somewhere and get mistreated, you have nothing to lose, you're in the bowels of hell, and you feel like, what do you have to lose at this point? However, this protest, this movement is being hijacked by some people as well. Yes, there are some people legitimately looting, they're protesting, but there are also some anarchist agitators out there. The only thing that has come from this, created by people showing their might, is the fact that they done charged the police officer and they're well en route to charging the other three officers. The autopsy came back today. They had a separate autopsy done. They said he died of asphyxia, meaning he was choked. And ladies and gentlemen, through all that this weekend, we're going to take you through some of the most chaotic stuff that has happened this weekend. There's a guy that I am calling him Hawkeye Henry, his punk ass. He goes to a protest, pulls out a bow and arrow, and what the hell did you think was going to happen to him? Ladies and gentlemen, my DJ is going to roll this first clip, and then we've got to discuss it. There's DJ Hawkeye.
One of the most unforgettable videos showing a man holding a
leaks when it comes to Roger Wardell, his track record.
Do y'all see anything?
Heavenly Father,
if anybody asks you,
we come.
One of the most unforgettable videos showing a man holding a bow and arrow as well as a machete and pointing those weapons at protesters. Today, police are looking to file charges against this man. Fox 13's Spencer Joseph joining us now with an update from law enforcement on that case, and joins us from the scene where that car was flipped over and burned. Spencer.
Quite a bit different scene from what it looked like yesterday. If you take a look over my shoulder, the black area just in front of that green trash can is where that car was flipped over and burned. It has been almost completely cleaned up, but now law enforcement is looking at videos and looking to charge that gentleman. Police made 41 arrests at the protest in downtown Salt Lake City, with those taken into custody being charged with various crimes.
Most of those were failure to disperse, several arrests for assault on police officers, and the remaining were curfew.
One person not arrested last night was this man, seen in videos circulating on social media while holding a bow and arrow, pointing it at protesters.
We're looking into that. That is one of our priority investigations, and that was troubling. That was a horrible situation.
Multiple cell phone videos showing it wasn't just a bow and arrow, but at another point involving a machete. Standing near his car, he drew his bow multiple times at protesters. A short time later, he is swarmed. His car is then flipped over and set on fire. He spoke with Fox 13 after the incident, sharing a very different perspective from what those videos show.
First I got beat up when I yelled, "All lives matter." Then I pulled out weapons, then I got beat up some more. Then the cops grabbed me and my car got totaled, my phone, everything. I lost everything. Coming down here to try to protect them with what weapons I had.
Sunday, Chief Brown addressed the incident and why he wasn't immediately arrested and charged.
That the man with the bow and arrow was pulled from the crowd by some public order officers as he was being.
All lives matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the problem right now with certain Anglo-Saxons. And if you're watching this, I'm going to let the fellas drop some knowledge on you. No one is not saying that your life don't matter, but the lives in question right now are those of minorities. And it doesn't help you to run around saying all lives matter. Fuck, white lives been mattering since 1619. The issues that people are mad about right now are the black lives that haven't mattered. When I tell you that I'm fighting for lung cancer because I'm an asthmatic and I like lungs, does that mean I don't give a damn about the other cancers? Fuck no, it doesn't mean that. I care about all cancers, but the cancer that's pertinent right now to my plight, that's been ailing me the most in my body, is lung cancer, not breast cancer, not toenail cancer, not penis cancer. It's the lung cancer. The lives that are being accosted the most. The reason you see so much anger, rage, pent-up aggression is because we've been telling you we matter since 400 years ago. And we've been told, oh, we'll get to it, or oh, don't protest. Last year, Colin Kaepernick was protesting peacefully. You know what the NFL owners did? They whiteballed him and told him, don't protest. Go in the corner, wait till after the game. Don't do it when it matters. Now those same damn NFL owners are coming out asking for peaceful protests. You know why? And I'm passing it to you now, Larry.
I'll tell you, I was down in D.C. today, and my wife and I drove around a little bit. She didn't want me getting out because, you know, she's still very worried about me with COVID because, you know, I have asthma. It's pretty severe. She doesn't want me getting sick and dying on them, you know. But we drove around a little bit just trying to see what was happening. People were out there protesting peacefully. There was no violence. There was no anybody acting up. There weren't people being aggressive, nothing. We got back. I turned on the news, and almost immediately, what do we see? The cops out there with mounted patrols throwing flashbangs at people, throwing tear gas at people. They went, and this, mind you, Marion Bowser, she put in place today a curfew for 7 p.m. That's early. They started attacking protesters at like 6:40. So I mean, it was not even the curfew. They didn't even give people the right to stay out there for as long as they had to protest. They started attacking people like 20 minutes before that. And
Larry, let me jump in on you.
Push people out and say leave. They literally start throwing flashbang grenades at people. They were throwing tear gas at people.
Let me jump in on you because I forgot. Larry does live up in that area. I was going to get to this, but because he has a personal experience with what's going on, y'all's damn president, in nothing but a complete show of white privilege and white power, wanted to walk across the street, and his fat ass never walks anywhere. He only rolls his orange ash places. He inducted something called, and I wrote it down, the 1807 Insurrection Act, which he doesn't really have the power to do. Governors are supposed to sign in on that, but he did it for DC anyway, to do exactly what happened to Larry. Throw flashbangs, call in the military to show a force of might so that he can go to a church to do a photo op and hold a damn Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, he could have hurt my friend Larry. He could have hurt your friend. He could have hurt your Americans that you're not friends with that are out there protesting peacefully. And I'll give it back to you, Larry.
You know, the thing that gets me is that he's so just utterly full of shit. He's out there talking about that he's deploying active military troops, and he's called in 200 military police officers to come down here from Fort Bragg and out your way in North Carolina. And this is the thing. He's posturing up, making it seem like he's Billy Badass. Yeah, I have the right to do this, and I'm bringing in active troops. What they're not telling you is these troops are going to be set aside for security. They do not have the right, and they will not be acting in the sense of they will not be engaging with protesters as far as arresting them or detaining them or anything like that, because they don't have the right to do that. And it's this whole thing. People need to see this, and I feel like we need to go in the streets even more, because what he is doing is what has happened in other countries before there have been dictatorships that have taken over. Before democratically elected leaders have moved on to become dictators, where they start to do stuff where they say, okay, there's so much violence, there's so much civil unrest that we're suspending the Constitution, and then they go off and try and say we're altering the Constitution and we're putting it in place that I can serve now for a lifetime, or there's no limit on how many terms I can serve. They'll do that, and then they'll start to do stuff where they start to play trickery games with who can vote and how you can vote and all kinds. This is how this stuff happens. And I know it sounds fantastical, it sounds ridiculous because this is America, but this is the way this shit happens. And this president has been reading and playing from fascist dictator playbooks before he even got into office. These are the people that he looks up to. These are the people he aspires to be like. He is a dangerous man. He needs to be removed from office. It's just plain and simple.
T-Strings, jump on in there, man.
Man, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. You know, right now, man, dude, it's really hard for me to collect all my thoughts, because you know I shared with you the other day the one death that we had here was from, you know, it was our friend's kid. You know what I'm saying? And we was just down there, you know, we was just down there before it got a little too wild, and had just, you know, just seen it, was like, all right, you know, hey, what's going on? We about to bounce. Not even 2-3 hours later, you know, the man was dead. You know, it's so wild right now. And me personally, man, the best thing for me to do is just really just stay in the house, because I'm on edge, and I'm antsy about it. You know what I'm saying? With you know, the guy with the bow and arrow, you know, we understand all lives matter. You know, we understand that. For one, they didn't beat his ass enough. There's no way you should have 30, 40 people on your head and you walk out with a busted eye. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they was trying to murk him. To be honest with you,
No.
I think they were just trying to really disarm him from his armaments. Hell, he ain't Tony Stark and Hawkeye from the Avengers. Fucking pull out a boy. Get the hell out of here, man. That fake.
They should have put some more punishment on him. But we understand that all lives matter. The gesture that we're trying to say is that Black lives.
You can't say that. All lives don't matter yet, because until Black people can say that our lives matter, you can't say all lives matter. So I'm not agreeing with these motherfuckers that run around talking about all lives matter. I don't agree with that. They don't all matter.
Well, I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, they should. All right.
Right.
Now,
they should.
They should. Now is our society does not accept it that way. All right. And can it be fixed? I don't even know it. I don't even know if it can really be fixed. This right here is now a part. This right here is now a part of our world. It's always been a part of our world, but now it's in a new light. It's in a very new light, and it's in a very uncomfortable light. Because now everyone is on edge. And I said this once before, that once your back is against the wall, people begin to fight back. And I wish and I hope that something do come up out of the situation. Last time I looked at that I saw it, I think they said that they were being charged with manslaughter or something, third degree murder, which is manslaughter or some crazy stuff. Now, that's one thing that I did bring up in another discussion that we've had on this platform, and how they will try to take it and water it down. A manslaughter charge, if it's just pushed to the fullest extent, will give you 8 years. Will give you 8 year max. And if it's just loosely filled, people can actually go in with a manslaughter or third degree murder charge, whip it up real good, get 18 months, and be right back. Be right back out on the streets. So
T-Stream, I'm telling you and everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice right now, if these guys, especially the one that had his knee on his neck, if he's not in jail the rest of his life, if you think this protest is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
I would just put that on out there.
Yeah.
If you think this is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I ain't talking about baking the cake. You ain't seen nothing. I'm talking about pulling out the oven. The house is on fire. Worse.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get worse. I don't even think most of these cities are even at their peak right now, because right now they're still protesting, and some of them have resorted to looting and damage and things like that. But there's still no resolution or resolve made, and I think a lot of people is probably waiting for that. And sometimes that process can be lengthy. And so this is one of the things you really have to watch to see, okay, does it just gradually die down? I don't think nobody's going to hush up. All right. Nobody's going to hush up. It's not going to magically disappear. All right. And I agree with you. They need to change what they're charging him with, because they're not going to step outside that sentencing grid to charge him outside the sentencing grid. If they do, he can appeal it and win it. All right. So they have to stay inside the sentencing grid. So with that being said, the prosecutor or the DA really need to change those charges due to the results that was presented today, so that it's something that can result to that, because it is definitely going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, man. These folks are out here. They are everywhere. And the sad thing about it is that they're popping up in new locations. Every single day, there's new locations, even in remote locations. But there's one common thing that I've seen in a lot of these stories that's really burning me hot. Mm-hmm. That in a great proportion of these cities that folks are protesting in, they're having people outside of those areas coming in to agitate and to disturb what would probably be peaceful, and to incite things like some of the rioting and stuff. these are people that, you know, man, I know you guys seen it all over, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you use. You know, some of these folks are even being confronted now that, you know, they're coming into these neighborhoods and they're, you know, they're being destructive and just by proxy, you know, inciting other people to do the exact same thing. And this is not, you know, they're not even, they're probably not even there for it. They're, you know, this situation is breeding opportunists to, you know, to cause a lot of these problems. One, because most of these areas are in Black communities, urban areas or whatnot. And some of these places, man, like, you know, like Minneapolis, Atlanta, man, they are tearing stuff up. And it's not, I don't see a resolve in sight, like not immediately soon. And so, man, I've been, dude, I'm like ready to throw my battle gear on for real.
Man, don't do it, bro.
I want to say that as much as I hear a lot of people out there calling for peaceful protest, and I just have to reiterate that we have tried peaceful protesting. People keep saying, white people say, give it time. Protest peacefully. Why can't you protest peacefully? Our Black leaders say we need to protest peacefully. Well, guess what? We have tried protesting peacefully. It does not work. You know what happens when we protest peacefully? That the cops tear gas us, the cops beat us, and then when we try and protest peacefully in the streets, guess what? The white people feel emboldened, and they get in their cars, they drive through crowds of protesters, and nothing happens to them. You try protesting peacefully with people like Colin Kaepernick. When he takes a knee, what happens? He loses his career. He can't make any money anymore, or at least he can't do the job that he loved and worked his whole life to be able to get to. So no, peaceful protesting does not work. I get it. There are outside agitators coming in. Maybe that's not the right. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. What I do know is that when you hit them where it hurts in their financial, you know, in their financial bottom line, all of a sudden they're paying attention. All of a sudden it's on the news everywhere. Then all of a sudden it matters. It matters then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say people can get out there and say, and I get it. These leaders, they have to go out there. They can't go out there and incite violence. They can't go out there and say, go and tear shit up. They can't go say burn shit up. I get it. You cannot do it, you know, but the reality of it is if you don't tear shit up, if you don't burn shit up, you won't be heard. They don't care if you go out there and spend your days and nights out there passing around COVID to each other. They don't give a fuck. What do they care?
No.
You know? As soon as you start tearing their shit up and burning their shit up, now they care.
So Larry, a respected business person in my area made a post about something. I'm paraphrasing here. He understands why people are upset, but he doesn't understand why people are looting, destroying property, all that kind of stuff. I started this live by trying to explain that. And I even went as far as to write a post on Facebook that I know both of y'all saw because I've seen both of y'all say something about it. But let me reiterate this again to the people who claim or don't want to understand why these people are doing that. These people feel like they have no power. These people feel like power has passed them. They've been stuck in the house for 8-9 weeks. Some of them didn't get stimulus money, and some of them who did get $1,200 is sitting here watching big corporation got billions, and they barely still can feed their families. And on top of that, you also have this list right here that has also been going on for a whole long time. So I was telling my wife the analogy I use is the fire that started the bomb that has blown up wasn't built. The bomb itself wasn't built in a day, in a week, in a month. The bomb has been being built for centuries. And what happened with George Floyd was the fire lighting to that bomb. This is a list of names who have all died at the hands of police brutality, and some of them as recently as 2 weeks ago. Right. And when you combine that with people who have been stuck in their house, people who are frustrated that they can barely make ends meet, people who don't have health care, people who just have nothing to lose, this is what you get. This is what you get. And to further highlight the point, it got so bad that they are protesting this thing worldwide. Take a look at this. Folks, this is Sweden, this is Europe, this is Australia, this was Ireland, believe it or not, New Zealand, all screaming the same thing we've been saying for years. And then I've got one more clip to show you guys that's just heartbreaking, because this was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, speechless. T-Strings, give it back to you.
All right. Man, I tell you, I'm sitting here looking at Paul's post here. And dude, I don't even understand how you could miss this. All right. The autopsy, you already knew that the state and the media was going to put out some old bullshit report to try to cover and fluff it up and stuff like that. So an independent report was done, and the results was released, and the cause of death was asphyxiation, meaning that he was choked. All right. You can be choked with the knee pushed up in the back of your neck with pressure on the ground, with him being on the ground and with him using the car for leverage. All right. Common, dude, you really don't even need common sense to even truly understand that. Okay. So that was really a fucked up question, but I'm gonna just put it like this. All right. We all know the media was going to fluff it up anyway. All right. So is anything that they really said anyway concerning that really didn't have, as far as I'm concerned, no merit, because one, they're trying to use damage control and concerned about public relations, thinking that firing somebody is going to be enough. Well, it's not enough. All right. It's not enough. And if anybody do not think that you can die from choking with someone's knee in your back, let me put my knee in the back of your neck. Let me put my knee in the back of your neck.
Man, you didn't even have to address such foolishness.
And so, folks try to play to the vanity, man, and really try to play you like you're stupid. And it really, it really irks me, because it shows how not in tune some folks can be with reality. Now, this may not be everybody's reality, but it's our reality. All right. And right now, the entire world, especially the United States of America, is embracing our reality. If it's not embracing it like they're trying to embrace it, they're going to feel the pain. They're going to feel the struggle. They're going to feel the anger. They're going to feel the hatred. They're going to feel all of this stuff right now. Because this is what we're going through, and I think that was the straw that broke the camel back. And I don't think for 1 second that it should lighten up. I don't think for 1 second that it should lighten up. And so I'm really sort of done with it, man, because I feel myself going really in a different direction and really want to say some fucked up shit, but you know,
you good. Let me interject a quick program note. So if you haven't been to shoplifegains.com, please go there quickly. Both of these t-shirts are in shoplifegains.com. You can help me keep T-Streams cool and in the house. And you can also be supporting something that has been tried to be said for a long time by simply going to shoplifegains.com and getting your fresh t-shirts. So ladies, fellas, I'm going to show y'all some stuff that happened to me this weekend. I had 2 pieces of information that happened. One was with an old college friend, and it deals along the lines of what this idiot was trying to peg you on T-Streams. So I'm going to read it out to you. Number 1 was this. This is my college friend, Lamont. I never once said the guy wasn't murdered. By your very own statement, why was Michael Brown killed? Why wasn't there a policy to keep him from getting killed? Oh, wait, there is a policy. There's been a policy. Thou shalt not kill. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm sitting up here like, I'm
Really?
sick. Yeah. Oh, wait. Why is that so hard to follow? And you know, I'm thinking to myself, okay, why don't you ask the white guy that's been killing everybody, why is that so hard to follow? Part of the problem is blaming all people who don't agree with you. Be adults, love each other, disagree, have a conversation, and fine, you want to vote official in office. Let's get rid of all politicians, Republicans, and demonstrants. Start over. Okay, whatever. Grammar's bad. That's who cares? We get the merit of what he's saying. This was my reply. That response is lame. Thou shalt not kill. If that is the case, why is George and others dead? You put a punishment policy in place to make people think about the consequences of their actions. Ain't you the same guy always arguing about if we increase gun laws, it won't stop bad guys? So I guess by your logic, the protesters should be destroying cities because the laws in place to stop bad cops and politicians ain't working. People who change the narrative are just as much the problem. Thou shalt not kill has done nothing to stop anything. Who wants to tackle that one first? Larry, I'm going to give it to you. And I told you the result of that was, I don't need you around me anymore.
So here's part of the problem. And there's something good that's coming out of this protest, and there's also a lot bad. One of the good things is that some of these white folks that are out there protesting, they're starting to see what it feels like to not have their privilege. When they're out there and they're in the middle of a protest and they're standing next to a black person or a brown person and the police is right on the other side of them, and the police are coming up there and they're throwing tear gas in their face, they're shooting them in the face with rubber bullets, they're pushing them, they're punching them, they're running them over with cars. They're feeling what it's like to be a black person. When they see a cop and they feel that fear in their veins, they understand they're getting a little taste of what it's like to be a black person every single day. When you have to go to the grocery store and you pass a cop car on the way and you don't know if that's going to be the end of your life or just a fleeting moment as you pass it, they're getting a little taste of what that feels like to not have their privilege when the cops look at them as the enemy. Now, on the other side, a lot of white folks still just don't get it. They are willfully ignorant, or they're just wholly ignorant, and there's maybe no hope for them. But I had a conversation with a girl that went to my high school today, and she was up there saying, she posted something about a protest, a group that was meeting up to protest, and she was saying this is wrong, these people are looting and protesting, and I'm upset because I want to go for my walk. And she literally wrote, we were going back and forth, and she wrote and told me, she said, as a white woman, I don't feel safe to go for my daily walk because of all of this. And I told her, I said, you have no idea how you sound right now saying something like that to me. You know, I told her, I said, I live in a very nice neighborhood, and I won't even go walk around in the residential parts of my neighborhood without my wife because it's not safe. If I have my wife, I'm just a loving husband going out for a walk. If I'm by myself, I'm a suspect, and people start ducking back in their houses, and the next thing I know, I see cop cars starting to roll around. I was like, so there's a lot of people out there that just don't get it. And she's up there saying, I wish I can support the protesters, but they're out there looting. And I'm telling her, you need to look a little bit closer. The people that are out there looting, there are some black folks out there looting, but the ones that are up there breaking the windows and starting the fires, those are white people. Those are not a bunch of black folks out there. Those are white people out there doing that. What you're seeing are the small selected clips they're playing on the news. Open up your Facebook, open up your Twitter, open up whatever, and go look at the live streams and see the raw footage and see all those white kids out there breaking shit and burning shit. That's what they're not always showing you. And some of them don't want to see it. And they don't get it. When I try to explain to her, we try to protest peace. We tried. People literally, Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee, and they called him a damn terrorist. They said they said that he was un-American. The people that supported him, they said that they were un-American. Kobe Bryant, for God's sake, one of America's sweethearts, caught hell for wearing a T-shirt that says "I can't breathe." You know, I mean, we try to peacefully protest. Y'all don't want peace. You don't want us to peacefully protest. You don't respect it. The only time things change is when there is violence. That's it. When we burn up your shit so you can't make money, then you pay attention. That's what it is. And I'll tell you right now, this shit that Donald Trump's doing right now, where he goes out there to the press, do this press conference, and he's talking about that these people are terrorists, these Antifa people are terrorists, and he's calling in the military police to do this and that, and he's throwing out all these dog whistles to his supporters to basically come out. Well, guess what? He thinks that his supporters are the only ones out there with guns. Guess what? You're not. How do you think that all these brothers who get shot up in the hood, what do you think they're shooting with? Fucking zip guns? No. I was like, there are people on both sides. There are extremists on both sides. And if you call for the extremist on the right, you're also going to get the extremist on the left that come out. So if they think that for some reason, and there's a whole lot more people on the left to begin with, if you call people out and you make people come and defend themselves as Americans, they will. It will be ugly. It will be violent. And if he thinks the military is just going to stand by and do his bidding, he's going to be surprised when he finds out that there are a lot of people in the military that only do what he says right now because they think that his orders might be lawful. But the moment they think, no, I'm not doing this, this is not lawful, I'm not going to stand against the American people, I swore an oath to protect them, I'm not going to turn around and attack them, he will find out that his power is limited. And there are a lot of minority generals and colonels and majors, and there's a lot of commanders out there that will just simply say, no.
Yeah,
there's a lot of troops out there. I was in Los Angeles during the Rodney King riots. I was out there in those riots taking photos, protesting, and I saw when the National Guard came out. I saw when they wanted the National Guard to move on them, and the National Guard simply said no. There were people that literally were from those neighborhoods that said, I'm not going to attack these people. I know these people. These are my friends and my family. I'm here. I'm not attacking them. And that's what happens. I mean, we've seen this time and time again throughout the world. Hell, what do you think happened in Iraq when they rolled in there and Saddam said, attack your people? And the Iraqi army said, no, I'd rather lay my guns down and take my uniform off. And they did, because they didn't want to attack their own people. It happens all over the world. There are people that will attack, but that's often why they end up bringing in mercenary people that they have to pay come in and attack folks, because oftentimes the homegrown troops don't want to attack their own people. And I think we will see that here. We have the police who has been they built up this mindset that they are not, that somehow they are above the law. But even then, oftentimes the police don't want to attack white people. That's why we see white people murder people left and right and do all kinds of heinous shit, and they still get arrested. But with black people, it's a different story. You just look at them wrong, and all of a sudden you're dead. So, but it's dangerous. We're looking at a potential race riot the way Trump is going. Keeps all these dog whistles, and his white supporters come out into the streets, they're going to be met. They're going to come out there and they're going to be met with the other side, and it's going to be ugly, it's going to be deadly, and it's going to be bloody. It's going to be horrible.
Well, you just saw what happened to Hawkeye Henry. T-Streams, I'm going to give you the last word on this, then we're going to move on to the movie TV section.
Yeah, man. You know, I was sort of thinking about the display you put up with your partner. Hey, and one of the things that showed me that he definitely has no clue is that he said, have a conversation. I mean, well, god damn. We've been having a conversation for 400-500 years. You know,
since 1619.
Man, I mean, how much more talking do we have? I mean, somebody may have the answer. I don't have it, but how much more talking do we need to have? You know, I was looking at Twitter yesterday, and oh my God, they let Dr. King, eldest son, have it. Man, I don't know if you guys caught it or not. Oh man, they gave that boy the wrench for real. Dr. Martin Luther King the third, Dr. King's son. So,
okay.
You know, so he was speaking out. He was speaking out against the looting and other things like that, and he was trying to get people to have a peaceful protest. And they were like really like, I mean, they were snapping on him like I'm talking, dude. They was like snapping on him like they was like really beefing with him. Like, nigga, what you talking about? Nigga, your daddy tried to do a peaceful march, and what happened there? They smoked him, you know. And his same retort was, you know, to be peaceful, and you know, it was not going nowhere. I mean, I'm like sitting up reading this like, holy crap. And but then when you sit there I mean, honestly, they do have a valid point. You know, Dr. King's movement was based upon, you know, peaceful protesting,
violence,
and
it was based on violence.
And that narrative didn't change. You know, well, I'm saying the fact that Dr. King he didn't want anybody to be, you know, his main mantra was, you know, like the turn the other cheek type thing, you know. And
Dr. King went into situations knowing that they were going to incite violence. They went to places intentionally to incite violence because they knew that they needed that violence to be seen by the rest of the country and the rest of the world. It was not a nonviolent movement. It was a movement of violence. They just were not perpetrating that violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just that they wasn't perpetrating the violence.
Yeah.
He was going places where he knew that they was going to be spraying water on them, turning the dogs loose, the massacre at the bridge. He knew that stuff was going to happen. And when the other Anglo-Saxons saw this happening to people that was Americans, they started having a little apathy and start saying, oh, we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's the whole carrot and the stick thing. If you don't have the stick, they don't want the carrot. You need the stick. I mean, the MLK stick was Malcolm X. And that was the thing. If you don't want my carrot, then go ahead and take the stick.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X didn't believe. Malcolm X ain't believe in no peace.
We need to explain. We need to know, if you not allow us to peacefully make change in this country, if you do not peacefully allow change to occur, then expect the motherfucking stick.
Because power never wants to concede power.
Right.
Never. You got to take it. Hence the Boston Tea Party.
Well, and so this, you know, I don't honestly, man. I've tried to look and just sort of, you know, use some type of foresight to say, but I don't see it. I don't see it clearing up no time soon. I think it's going to be drug on. I mean, it's to the point where this situation has eclipsed so much other things that was relevant and going on in the world, you know, and you know, and rightfully so, because this message has to get out. Okay, this message has to get out. These pop-up protests are going to continue to pop up. You're going to see more burning. You're going to see more flipped cars. You're going to see more people getting hurt. and things like that. Those are just consequences or casualties of this type of situation. And so when people are comfortable, when people are to the point where they're comfortable with those consequences and they continue forth, is likely going to be held to pay at some point, And I just hope that the powers that be, lawmakers and things like that, judicial system, those who are supposed to be here to protect and serve, that that they change their whole playbook, because people are not going to go through all of this and then take some old fluffed up changes just to have it turn around and happen again next year sometime. All right, so there has to be some type of resolution in play at some place, and man, all I can really say is just be prepared, because at some point it may leave the downtown areas or the uptown areas and start getting into the neighborhoods and stuff like that. We had a very, very violent, very, very violent racial riot back in the late 60s here that that turned our city entirely upside down, that Detroit really hasn't even recovered from way back then. And that's over, that's them, that's a long time ago, 1967. And so right now you have that type of damage, or that type of output. You have the potential for that to pop up in multiple places at the same time. Mm-hmm. So that right.
But here's the thing, T-Streams, we are not our grandparents.
Yeah.
We are not our parents. What they went through, they grew up being told that you need to be polite, that you have to,
lower yourself for being around Anglo-Saxons, right. Call them all Mr. and all that.
Right. You have to show them deference. We don't feel that way. We don't believe that shit. We are not doing that. People have tried to explain to these folks, I am not my grandparents. I will fuck you up. And so if they start that shit, it's not going to be pretty. It is going to be violent. It is going to be ugly.
Right.
What I am really hoping for is that these other countries out there that are protesting, the vast majority of investment in the world today is institutional investment. I hope that these people decide to divest. I hope all these universities, I hope all these people that have these mutual funds and big investment funds from their jobs, pension funds, I hope they all say, we want you to divest from American companies until they fix these human rights issues here.
And I hope China came out
hard that they have no choice but to fix it.
So one of China's ambassadors came out today. They was backballing Trump because not too long ago he was talking shit about the protest they had in Hong Kong.
Right.
And you know what she said in a tweet as they was trying to bash her today? She said her reply was simple as this: I can't breathe. And fellas, with that, I'm going to change this. I'm going to take us to movies and TVs, but I will say this. We have an active duty officer scheduled to come on tomorrow to tell exactly how wrong he feels these things have happened and what he feels need to change and what you all can look for in an officer that is a good one. So you guys be on the lookout for that. We're going live tomorrow, me and Larry at 9 p.m. And in terms of movies and TV shows, let's jump into it. If you're finding us for the first time, we are the Black Avengers of Current Culture. Please subscribe. We go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 9 p.m. There's a podcast associated with the channel. Larry has a YouTube channel. Subscribe to him. T-Streams has got a YouTube channel. He's about to do. Subscribe to that. And if you want to really, really show your protesting feelings, go to shoplifegames.com. Grab yourself a T-shirt. Fellas, have either one of you guys ever seen this show called Greenleaf?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of episodes from it before.
I haven't seen it. I heard it, but Before we move on with
for it.
TV and movie stuff, right quick, if you don't mind me just quick saying that if Killmonger would have been able to take his rightful place on the throne and would have went ahead and liberated all of us oppressed people, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Just saying.
It might be a job for Killmonger. I know y'all seen the clip of somebody with the Batman suit walking around, start getting a little cheers and
folks, look, I'm trying to get Larry to get this Killmonger thing out of his system. So I developed this specifically for Larry, and anybody that super chats or hits me on Cash App. This is for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all!
I like it. Burn it all.
I bet you do like it. Boy,
burn it all.
Man, I'm through with you, man. But here is a preview of the trailer for season 5, Greenleaf, the final season.
Heavenly Father,
if anybody asks you,
we come to you this day with concerns.
Where I'm going,
concerns that only you can answer.
It's over. This is no time to stop praising God.
Let us seal up this tomb and wait for our miracle. Lord, we need you now.
Well, I'll be a duck on a June bug. Everything coming out in June. T-Stream, since you've seen this, please convince me and Larry why we should watch it.
Well, you know, I wasn't a dedicated watcher, but I will say this. They actually, though it's surrounded around like church stuff, you know, it's like, man, I can't even say it's like Tyler Perry, but it's, to me, it's like, damn, how would I put this? Like, I guess I would probably mix it like Tyler Perry meets Sopranos or some crazy stuff. It's really a different type of, it's really a different type of show. It puts you in the mind of a story sort of sense, like daytime story or something like that. But it has like that Tyler Perry griminess to it, you know, it's hard to explain, man. I didn't when I watched it, I probably only caught maybe, you know, half of season 2. And that's only because a lot of my folks was asking for it. So I did, you know, check it out. So I really can't convince you to watch it, but if you want something, if you want something different, it has all the drama, the family drama stuff in there, the politics stuff, if that's your cup of tea, then you may like it. So if I think folks that like Tyler Perry stuff would probably, lean a little bit more towards it. But I may go back and visit it. So it's a lot, man. There's a lot of shows that I'll go and check out 4 or 5 episodes, and don't really be anything wrong with them. That I just, I really just don't watch a whole lot of TV unless it's just something that really like. But I'm not, I have my own personal taste on like TV shows. I'm more of a action person and not sort of like the drama type. But if you But if you're into dramas, relationships, bad relationships, stuff like that, deceit and things.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is the pastor sleeping with somebody he ain't supposed to be sleeping with?
Man, hell, I don't know. I didn't mean that far, but I tell you, but I will say this: it's definitely love. It's definitely loved amongst women. Okay.
Oh.
So I that I can know. Just because, you know, prior to me grabbing a hold to it, you know, I got a whole lot of requests, and probably about 95% of those requests came from women. See, I actually thought that it was over with. So I didn't know that they was still airing or something. I'm thinking they may have even, you know, skipped a few months and then just sort of came back, because I actually thought the Greenleaf series was actually over.
Okay. Larry, are you all warm and fuzzy on the inside from this one?
I have no interest.
Me neither.
None.
I wanted T-Strings to carry this segment because I'm just trying to get to the Marvel segment of this show. But if that's the
well, it's built around a church family, and the hardships, the deceit, the betrayal, and all that stuff that goes on with that. I'm hoping and trusting that all urban Black churches are not like that. And I even think some of them even got their hands in some, you know, some underhanded stuff. So it's, you know, and so if you into like that type of drama, then you would definitely, you know, like it, you know. And so but it has an amazing cast. It does have that. I didn't really, just from the few episodes that I've watched, you know, it's not anything that I would just say that oh, it sucks like I did with Empire. So I guess that's oh man, I saw Empire. I was like, man, fuck this. I don't know.
So Larry, if you don't want to speak on Greenleaf, I don't have nothing to say other than I agree with T-Stream. A lot of women love to watch it, and ladies, y'all gonna have to let us know, me and Larry, what we're missing to add to what T-Streams had to say, because right now we are just ready to jump into Marvel. So fellas, it's Marvel time. But before we go there, if you're finding us for the first time, please subscribe to this channel, download the podcast, subscribe to Larry's channel, subscribe to mine, go check out T-Streams on Facebook. And here we go with the Marvel news of the day. They are talking, because I get the leaks. I troll the web to find the best information so that y'all can't never say Lamont ain't bring y'all good information about Marvel. There is a leak running around right now about Black Panther 2. And guess who they're going to introduce into Black Panther 2? Y'all heard it here first. And y'all heard last week the place that I said they could start introducing the X-Men. Take a look at this.
Leaks. When it comes to Roger Wardell, his track record is pretty... Leaks. When it comes to Roger Wardell, his track record is pretty impeccable. This is the same guy who was nailing stuff about Avengers Endgame over 5 months in advance, including insane details like Fat Thor and the...
We can see it.
Oh,
Leaks.
Well,
when it comes to Roger Wardell, his track record is pretty impeccable. This is the same guy who was nailing stuff about Avengers Endgame over 5 months in advance, including insane details like Fat Thor and the inclusion of a Hell Hydra cap recreating the elevator scene. Basically, when it comes to Roger Wardell, there's just a little bit more reverence than your normal anonymous leak. So, if this is in any way going to ruin your Phase 4 experience and or the introduction of Wolverine via Black Panther 2, then you might want to back out now. Now, when I said this wasn't long in length, I was not kidding. Normally, Roger Wardell packs a ton of information into very short tweets, and I also made mention of this mandatory cooling off period. It was a slight joke in the prologue. It's because he always takes a couple of months off in between tweeting a ton in a row. This one coming after almost 30 days of silence. MCU is a way more dangerous place for Wolverine than you might think. Logan receives his combat nanosuit thanks to Shuri and Antarctic vibranium. Like I said, not long in length, but absolutely packed with detail. And some may choose to focus on the later part of this. There's one word in particular in this entire leak, though, that is much deeper than it may appear. Now, obviously, the inclusion of Logan in upcoming Black Panther would make headlines across all of the normal spots, and I'm assuming by tomorrow it definitely will. But the inclusion of the word Antarctic here opens up an entire different can of worms, or should I say can of dinosaurs, and via a trusted industry insider, friend of the channel, Mikey Sutton, who has dropped a ton of leaks here real recently about the upcoming inclusion of the X-Men, how they'll be introduced, and via Savage Land, which is located in no other place than, you guessed it, Antarctica.
Remember we talked about the Savage Lands being in Antarctica last week and them dropping the X-Men? Larry, I'm giving it to you first. You want to see Wolverine and Black Panther 2?
Yeah, that would be good. I'm just curious about what they're still going to do with Black Panther. Who's going to be the Black Panther?
T'Challa is coming back, man. It is not going to be Killmonger. I'm not playing that Killmonger clip no more this whole damn video. So stop it.
What we going to do? We're going to have we going to have a Black Panther that has an eating disorder now?
No.
Stop it, man. Stop it. He's not a big dude in the first place, man. He's not big at all, man. Golly. All he got to do is eat. All the brother got to do,
big head little people, little people that are super skinny with them big heads and little bodies. That's what he looks like now.
Larry, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. All that brother got to do is eat 2 ham sandwiches, and he's going to be good to go for Black Panther. That's all he got to do. That's it, man.
Or they can let Killmonger take his rightful place on the throne and then do the movie and let the movie be straight up lit.
No, man, no.
And now, the way people feel to bring in a liberator, woo!
Man, matter of fact, man,
tell me you would not like to see a liberator on the throne.
God, Lord. T-Streams, how do you feel about Wolverine and the X-Men mutants being introduced in Black Panther 2?
Say, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about King T'Challa coming back.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. You know, the guys over at Disney and Marvel, man, they have been dropping a lot of gems these last couple of weeks. My only qualm with them is that all of us would be 2 or 3 years older by the time we get a chance to see them. Now, hopefully, you know, I'm eager to see how they play the new Wolverine. Had they released who's going to be doing Wolverine? Because I know the other guy isn't doing him any longer.
No, they said Hugh Jackman is talking about coming back.
What?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
man.
Hey, well, I'll put it this way. Then that makes it all much better because, you know, you used to seeing him. And dude plays one hell of a, you know, I don't give 2 craps about how tall he is, you know, but, you know, some hardcore fans, they yeah, man, you haven't seen some of the complaints?
No, man, Wolverine's not tall anyway. What the?
Yeah, but I've seen some really like complaints that why they didn't like Hugh Jackman. They figured that he was too tall for Wolverine. But I think he played it. I think he played a really good Wolverine.
Oh God.
And so if he comes back, I don't, you know, if he comes back or if he's not, I don't know. But I am eager to see how they play it off because both of them are big brand names, and both of them can bring in lots of money on their own. So when you put them together in the same movie, you know, I'm eager to see how they run that and how they play that, because the way they have Wolverine, he could actually pull off as either a colleague or an antagonist. You know, they can run.
We have a clip to share right quick. You ready?
Oh God, here we go. Here we go, man. Lord,
hopefully you can hear it.
Oh man, there's a black Twitter.
Man,
There's a black Twitter.
man, hey, I tell you what, and after this show go off, if you sitting around your house and you hear that wah wah, you better go grab your weapons.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord, man. Y'all dudes are nuts, man. Y'all. So I'm going to end the Marvel section right there, man. We can't get away from that first segment. So now we're going to move to the money section, and we're going to revisit a Tesla situation, and we're going to talk about Tesla again. But first, I need to ask you guys a question. I got a question for you guys, because both of you guys have done YouTube. You know how there's all this different hate. So I'm going to display this. What do you guys find wrong with the thumbnail and the title? Someone please tell me. Larry, I'm going to ask you first.
I mean, I don't really see anything about it. I mean, the character.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Yeah. T-Streams, what did you see wrong with the title or thumbnail?
Dude, I have problems. I'd be so slow and so green trying to interpret some of these memes nowadays. All I know is that Samuel.
Oh man.
Okay, so in essence, you don't even have a problem with it either.
No,
me and Larry talked about the Tesla because a black person told me that a group of black people that they represent don't understand why someone would take the money that they could buy a Tesla with. They think black people would rather go buy Lexuses, Range Rovers, and stuff like that. And I said to that person, that's because they're uneducated about what Teslas can do. Is that not what I said in the video, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the response. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
This is the crazy responses I got from some people. And some of this goes back to what we talked about in the first segment about white people wanting to just turn a blind eye that there's differences between black and white folks. Take a look at this. So one chick said, and I was about to call her a bad word, but I'm not. I disagree. Black people don't have anything against Tesla. The idea itself is absurd. This is clickbait for YouTube, Google bucks. I have a friend who made $220,000 last year from YouTube video. Anybody see a bias with her? That bitch is biased as hell. Next, Alex Hunter. I disagree as well. This has nothing to do with race. That's a problem right by itself, people. I'm not sure why it's even brought up. I explained in the video why it was brought up. I'm a biracial, and the black side of my family loves my car. Everybody ain't in your family. Plus, you said you biracial. I haven't met anyone who hasn't loved my car regardless of race. Okay, that's you. Maybe you live in Alaska. Last one. Chris Curl. Agree with the other commenters. Black car enthusiasts are not different than white car enthusiasts. Some like Tesla, some don't. It has nothing to do with race.
Let me just start off by saying this Alexis Hunter chick, you need to go check your damn self before you find yourself in some trouble. I mean, this whole bullshittery about being biracial and the black side of your family. No, chick, you're black. Get the fuck over it. You are black. This is the thing. And maybe you don't recognize or don't understand the historical context around this biracial bullshit. But here it is. For the longest time, from the day this country started to today, black people have been on the bottom of the totem pole. They have been on the bottom of the social stratosphere, you know? And so everyone who comes to this country, whether they're Italians or they're Irish or they are Chinese or Korean or Russian or Nigerians even, everybody wants to say that they're not black. because to put yourself aligned with black people means you are at the bottom of the social totem pole in this country. And so everybody's always trying to make themselves not black. And so that's why you see all these people nowadays running around talking about, I'm not black, I'm biracial. I say this to you. Was Barack Obama not our first black president? Because he's mixed. So if you're claiming him as our first black president, then your whole argument is bullshit, because if you're mixed with black and anything else, guess what, nigga? You're black. Deal with it, accept it, because otherwise you're just going to grow up with a whole bunch of messed up head shit, which is what you already have, which is why you're claiming you're biracial and not black.
So man, tell me, dude, because I'm like, so what was the problem that they was having with? What was the problem that they were actually having?
They're fully. I read it to you. They felt like the video and the title was clickbait. I said clearly some blacks hating. I didn't say all. I said some. And in the video, I educated those blacks that said they would rather buy a Tesla or a Range Rover on why Tesla would be a better buy. And I also used, if it makes sense, all white guys statistics. So these are just a-holes who are the same people that want to deflect from the fact that there are some differences between black and white people. That's just it. They want to act like it means nothing. When you walk down the street, the first thing they see, T-Streams, they don't see the color of your skin. You know what they see? They see your heart. They see your perfectly shaped February heart. They don't see color. There's nothing associated about your color that goes with the things you might do, T-Streams. So that's why they say that antiquated bullshit. And they want to hate on YouTubers. Last but not least.
Yeah, man, do I look like I'm born in February? I mean, I am. It was just sort of ironic you said that. But golly.
I'm telling you, man, it's hard trying to get a win. But the win for today is, at the end of the day,
What's the problem with trying to get someone to click your stuff? I mean, you're a YouTuber. That is the whole point of making a thumbnail, is to entice people to click it. So you can call it clickbait, or you can just call it success.
Yeah, but you still can't put everything inside your title. You know, you for the most part, normally
about what it's about. He didn't put in there J-Lo half naked coming out of a Tesla. He didn't say, check out my video with Beyonce posing nude on top of a Tesla. Nope. He put what the video was about.
I put exactly what the video was about.
People up there, you have all them bullshittery people that hate on anything black. They don't want to be black. They hate the fact they're black, and they're always bullshitting when it comes to race like that. Suck it up, people. You're black. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, some folks just petty anyway, man. That's, you know, they can't escape that. You know? So
me and Larry gave a tip. If you listen to it Friday after we got done talking about Tesla, we mentioned that Elon was going to be launching the rocket this weekend, and that I thought you should buy some Tesla because the same technology that is used in the rocket, they use in Teslas, and watch how they push the stock up on Monday. Well, fellas, this is what happened to the stock today.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, look at that. Before.
Look at that. Look at that. When you come to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, we give you gems. We give you gems on pop culture, movies and TV shows, Marvel, and financial gems. If you bought a stock, you made $63 just today, because we knew if that rocket got shot into space successfully, that was going to give a boost to Tesla stock. And by George, who is very curious, it did.
That it did do.
Mm-hmm. And see, Buzz, and Buzz, see, that's the thing. That's what they was trying to say. I don't see color. What difference does it make? Yeah. Dude, just stop this lying. There are certain things in your culture you talk about that we don't talk about in the black culture, especially in like the deep black cultures. we ain't gonna never talk about going surfing in this house. Hell, we can't even fucking swim. Bruh, come on, man. People of different culture groups talk about certain things. The black culture groups I was talking to the other day said black people need to understand why it's a better buy to get a Tesla over a high dollar Lexus, BMW, and I found a video that gave the breakdown to do that to try to educate people. It's as simple as that.
Right. And apparently they didn't like it.
No.
Because they want to be able to keep trying to floss with their same old name brand shit. They're probably the same people out there that gone and spent $5,000 on a stupid handbag that's going to be out of style next week or next month. And they probably up there and go and spend all kinds of money on their little red bottom shoes and all the other crap that doesn't mean anything. It's not worth anything.
Nothing. Means nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just roundtabling now. I'm going to continue to bring you guys something to help you with finances. I'm going to bring some more Tesla videos because even though I had those few detractors, overall, the video was well received. I had people hit me in my DMs on Instagram asking me more questions, asking me things about Tesla because they watched the whole video and realized you can get a Tesla for about $28,000 and be riding in the lap of luxury. So I don't mind answering those questions. We'll keep bringing them to you guys. Larry T. Strings, what do you guys have to say to finish this round off today?
Well, I'll say to T. Strings first, man. Sorry, I've been stepping on you all night. I guess I'm just a little on edge. So, you know,
Yeah.
my time to him because I feel like I've been stepping on his words all night.
You good? You good, man. The first thing my wife said when Trump did that bull jive of walking to that church when he know his fat ass don't walk nowhere, the first thing she said was, Lamont, please tell me that Larry doesn't live in D.C. I said, no, he's on the outskirts somewhere to remain nameless.
Yeah, I went in, but man, they went after those folks today. They didn't even give them a chance to go to a curfew. They went out there throwing those damn flash grenades and those flashbang grenades and tear gassed them and all kinds of stuff. They were hitting people with those doggone the mounted police were hitting people with their horses and just it was terrible. It was terrible.
It didn't make no sense. There was no real purpose to do what he did other than to incite more riots, to flex white power and white privilege, and just genuinely make more people upset. Like I made a post on Facebook. If y'all don't follow me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. I said right now, if a country is outside looking in, right now would be the best time to come in because it'd be divide and conquer all day.
Well,
and he looked like, he looked like he was up there. He was up there holding a Bible, and I don't even know if it was a Bible. It looked like it might have been a hymn book, but it looked like it was burning through his hands. Like he just was so fidgety with it, just holding it, flipping like if he held it still for a second, it was gonna burn his flesh or something. I mean, I don't know what it was about. It was stupid. This whole thing about going out there and taking a picture, it was stupid. It was just.
It was dumb. He looked as goofy as the limu that's in that New York insurance commercial. He looked goofy as hell. And Larry is right too, ladies and gentlemen. When you go to church, there's two books. There's a hymn book, there's a Bible. And that certainly looked more like the hymn book. I said the same thing.
Oh, man. Don't tell me man grabbed the hymn thinking it was the Bible.
Well, he ain't opened the book.
No. He never opened the book.
He ain't opened the book. Good Lord have mercy.
Well, who knows what it was?
Yeah.
Maybe some photographer got a good shot of it, and we'll see it wasn't even a Bible. Who knows?
Well, T-Strings, I'll let you get the last word on tonight.
Yeah, man. So, while things are heating up, so it's definitely this last week has really been a test for all of us. We're trying to still weather the storm of COVID-19, which, by the way, is something that's still out, is very much real right now. It hadn't gone anywhere, and so so please, number one, keep that in mind. If you do go out there and protest, continue to wear your mask, because everybody out there yelling, screaming, splitting, splabbling, and the last place you want to get that is out trying to let your voice be heard. Also, get your weapons, stockpile them right now. Be ready. Dude, I got about 4. Now I got 4 new pieces coming in.
Golly.
Oh man, dude, I'm gonna have to show them to you once they get in. And look, and you got folks out they pulling out crossbows. They doing everything. And so my thing is for self-preservation. While you protest, you do what you got to do. But when they folks start crossing the line, folks, when they're out there, man, they get ballsy. Right now we have close friends with a child a child is deceased now, went out to a protest, and the only fatality just so happened to fall on it. So people, the crowds are mingled with people whose primary intention is not to protest, but to see what they can gain advantage of. And you don't want to be that person that's stole on. You don't want to be that person that's robbed or shot while you're in your car or something like that because somebody else is acting ignorant. So, some of these folks really have no clear idea what protesting is. They sit back, they drink, they hit their weed, and they go out there with the rest of the folks and act the fool. So I'm going to always be a proponent for having your weapons. And so, and just for the simple fact that things are so uncertain that we have no clue what direction it's going to turn. You already heard your president. He say when the looting start, the shooting start. So if you ain't got nothing, you can come borrow one of mine.
God.
Man,
so you, Larry.
It's trying to take me out. I had to go off my computer, go onto my iPad.
Look, Larry, my internet been messing up all night. It's like they trying to keep me from spreading this word.
That's the Illuminati.
They're trying to get us, man.
Hey, man. Hey, Larry, it's on you now, man. Finish the people off, and I'm gonna go after you.
Well, I will say this, man. Stay out there. Stay in the streets. Keep protesting. If you are out there, you want to be out there, go out there. Don't be discouraged. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like there are peaceful protests and there are less than peaceful protests, and then there's just straight up rioting and looting and burning shit down. And there's gonna be people out there that aren't gonna be peaceful. I'm not telling anybody not to be peaceful, but the people that are out there determined not to be peaceful. I'm not going to step in their way. I've seen some people get upset and grab people and drag them over to the police and whatnot. I'm not going to get in other people's way. Mm-hmm. I'm just not. If you want to do what you do out there, do what you do. Because I've seen the police run people over with cars. I've seen these big monster ass looking cops that look like they do nothing but stay in the gym working out and beat people, shoving little women. I mean, little women. I mean, I saw a dude shove a woman that they looked like he threw her like he was in a friggin' superhero movie, like he threw her so damn hard and far, smacked her head and went to a seizure. I've seen people shoving other dudes. I've seen them shooting people in the face with rubber bullets. I saw a video today where a cop grabbed a guy's face mask and pulled it down so that he can spray him in the face with pepper spray. What kind of bullshit is that? You take his mask down so that you can spray him in the face. So no, don't stop protesting. Stay out there. Stay in those streets. I mean, you make your voice heard. And also remember, follow all of this up with voting. Make sure you are registered to vote. When it comes time to go and vote,
make sure as much enthusiasm as you had to be out there in the streets during this protest, make sure you hit the ballot box and you vote these motherfuckers out.
Out. O-U-T with an exclamation mark. Out.
Yeah. It's definitely going to start there.
Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all I have to say is when people try to challenge you about what about isms, and we talked about this on Friday, when they come to you and say, well, what about all the white cops that died? Or what about white guys this? What about that? Challenge them. Don't be afraid to challenge them. We all know the tumultuous history of this country and how it has always been a double standard for minorities in this race. Challenge them. Let them know that this is why we're seeing what we're seeing right now. Now, I don't condone rioting and looting, but am I condemning it? No, I'm not. Because the minute they start rioting and looting was the minute they arrested that damn cop. And what does that tell you? Yep. The minute we start having riots and looting was the minute these rich billionaires and business owners start coming out saying, oh, we want peace now. But do y'all remember when Kaepernick was taking a peaceful knee? They didn't want that shit. He was a terrorist. He was not American. He was spitting on the flag. I can remember a New York Jets game where this guy looked like he was about to jump out the stand because he was so frustrated by Colin Kaepernick's act. And now UMF is calling for that? No. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm. You know, we've been suffering too long. And now that things are starting to turn a way you don't want it to go, now you want us to come and sing Kumbaya, watch Reading Rainbow together and shit, and eat sandwiches and picnic. Make some political changes, make some policy changes, and make consequences when those things don't happen so that these minorities don't continue fighting 10 steps behind in a foot race to the finish line.
That's right.
Yep.
That is right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow, me and Larry, with a uniformed officer who's going to answer questions. Maybe Larry will finally have one cop he can believe in, and he's going to also talk about how you know a cop is on the up and up or not. He's got some good inspirational stories. Be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. We'll have that conversation. And last point of contention, go check out shoplifegains.com. Those are some beautiful t-shirts. Get you one. Say you still part of this movement. Support the channel. And that's it, fellas. Anything else? Well, we out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Go check out Larry's channel. Check out T-Streams. Download our podcast. You can hit me on Instagram with your DMs to that Net Sexy as Hell video. We'll see you guys.
Peace.